volume there, officer.
Can you hear us now?
Yep, good, thank you. All right, this is case number 22 CR 14, State of Ohio versus Heather Sue Applegate. This Applegate, you were done by the grand jury on February the 1st on a charge of aggravated possession of methamphetamine, alleging that you had on or about August 30th in this county, 2020 I should say, in this county that you knowingly obtained, possessed, or used methamphetamine in an amount over 5 times bulk, less than 50 times bulk. That is a second-degree felony, which, if convicted, carries a prison term of between 2 and 8 years, as set by the judge at the minimum, and that's a mandatory sentence. And then there could be up to an additional 50% extension of any time the judge gives by the Department of Corrections, depending upon their determination of the situation. Also, a fine available $15,000, a mandatory fine of $7,500, and a hospital license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney, Ms. Applegate. If you cannot afford to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And I see you have filled out a financial disclosure. Is everything on this form correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. When's the last time you were working?
When I got out that.
Okay.
In 2000.
All right. The court then will find that you are entitled to appoint counsel. And have you been in court on this charge before today in a different court?
No.
Okay.
Prosecutor's notes say previous attorney Bill. I don't know. It may be on a different case.
Oh, okay. Here it is. Oh, no, that's not it. That's it. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Court will appoint an attorney, William Arbitrage, to represent you, and in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. I'll set a bail review for your hearing tomorrow morning at 8:30, doing several others with Mr. Arbitrage at that point. Your first pre-trial will be March the 16th at 1 o'clock p.m. It'll be a Zoom hearing. Final pre-trial will be April the 13th at 1 o'clock. The trial will be set for May the 9th at 8 a.m. All right, your bond will be set in the amount of $7,500 plus your own cognizance, which is your promise to appear. And if you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony. Then if convicted, sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case. You're required to pay a deposit for certain statutory required fees of $171 prior to release. Maid lodge will be under pretrial supervision of the probation department, 117 East Main Street. You report to them. Immediately upon your release, must report to them once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine. Undergo random drug testing by order. Provide phone numbers for home, self-employer. Recommended by probation to be evaluated for substance abuse, mental health issues, and treatment indicated for enrollment and follow that under penalty of this action. You will also be under house arrest at your residence at 12270 Cameron Drive. Greenfield, meaning you have to be there at all times unless you're working or doing front work. medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointments with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case, can also with any kind of schooling, job training, educational programming of any type, or you can attend church services other than that, you have to be there at all times. And if you fail to comply, the court could revoke that bond and have you held to a further order. All right, do you have any questions on this application?
No.
All right, thank you.
Bryson.
Right. Danielle.
Well, is Denny going to be available tomorrow?
I just said, I sent text.
Okay, all right, okay, all right, well, tell him he's going to be appointed. I'd like to call as well.
Okay.
And ask him to speak with, Tessa and Bill, ask them to talk to each other before that. All right, are you Bryson Rickman?
Yes, sir.
22 CR 62, State of Ohio versus Bryson Lee Rickman. Rickman, you were indicted by the grand jury on Tuesday of this week for aggravated trafficking in fentanyl-related compound and aggravated possession of a fentanyl-related compound. And the first count listed on the offense happened on about June 9, 2021 in this county. You knowingly sold or offered to sell fentanyl-related compound. And then count 2 alleges the same date you possessed a fentanyl-related compound. The first count is a 4th-degree felony that carries a possible prison term. If convicted of between 6 and 18 months, a fine of $5,000 and a possible license suspension of 6 months and 5 years. Count 2 is a 5th-degree felony that carries a potential sentence if convicted of 6 to 12 months in prison, a fine of $2,500, and also a license suspension of 6 months and 5 years. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney in this matter, and if you don't have a funds to hire on the formal appointment for you, I see you have filled out a financial disclosure form and everything on this form correct.
Yes, sir.
When was the last time you were employed, Mr. Rickman?
It's probably been like 2-3 years.
Right. All right, the court then finds that you are entitled to appointed counsel, and have you been in court on this case before today, in another court?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, the court will appoint attorney Sarah Harder of Hillsborough, Ohio to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. You've never been convicted of a felony previously, have you?
No, sir.
All right. All right, the court, as I said, enters a not guilty plea for you. Set your bond as an OR only, which is your promise to appear, and if you fail to appear, then you could be prosecuted for an additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced on that regardless of what happens in this case. You'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department. You'll report there immediately upon your release this morning, and then you report to them once a week for 4 weeks, and then after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing, they may order, provide phone numbers for Holzinger home self-employer. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues. If treatment is indicated, to enroll in and follow after dependency this action. And you'll also be at your under house arrest at your residence. Is that 613 Linden Avenue?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you'll have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointment with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case. You can also attend any kind of schooling, job training, educational programming, classes, etc. You can also attend church services. Other than that, you have to be there all the time. If you fail to comply, then the court could have that bond revoked and have you held until further order of the court. We will set your first retrial for March 17th at 2 p.m. Final pretrial will be April 21st at 1 p.m. And your jury trial will be set for May the 9th at 8 a.m. Now, we'll notify your attorney of her appointment, and you can get her number there from the jail if you want to give her a call. So as soon as you get processed out, you report to the probation department up here, 117 East Main Street. You know where that is? All right.
No, sir, but I can look.
Right in the center of town, half block on the south side, on the right across from the Flatbush Station. There's a brick front, sits right on the alley. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. 317, what was the final pre-trial date? 421?
421,
59?
59, correct, sir.
All right, are you Tessa Holzinger?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is case number 22 CR 64, State of Ohio versus Tessa Holzinger. Holzinger, you were indicted by the grand jury on March 1st on 2 counts. One of aggravated trafficking and methamphetamine, a 4th degree felony, and one of aggravated possession of methamphetamine, 5th degree felony. The indictment alleges in count 1 that on or about March the 7th of this year, of last year, you knowingly sold or offered to sell methamphetamine. And count 2 alleges on or about the same date you possessed it. The first count, 4th degree felony, carries a possible prison term between 6 and 18 months and a fine of $5,000. Count 2 carries a possible prison term between 6 and 12 months and a fine of $2,500. Both have a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. You are entitled to have an attorney represent you in this matter, Ms. Holzinger, and if you can't afford to hire one, court will appoint one for you. And I see you have filled out a financial disclosure form. Is everything on this form correct?
Yes, sir.
When was the last time you were employed?
It's been a while.
Okay. All right. You've not been in court on this case before today?
No, not.
Okay. All right, can you put these alphabetically in the case number? Yeah, very.
Well, she's on
Well, actually, it would help if I was using the right one.
yeah, page 3,
Page 3, yep, there it is.
Okay. And a note to the right there on the previous case.
All right, the court will appoint Attorney Danielle Witt to represent you in the absence of counsel. I'll enter a not guilty plea of the hand. do a bail review hearing tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. First pre-trial will be set for March the 16th. 1 o'clock, that'll be a Zoom hearing. Final pre-trial will be April 13th. Trial date will be April 28th. The pre-trial on the 13th will be at 1 p.m. and the trial date on the 28th will be at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in the amount of $2,500 plus your own recognizance if your promise will appear, and if you fail to appear, you will be subject to being prosecuted for an additional felony. You'll also be required to pay a deposit of $171 for statutory required fees prior to release. If you make bond, you'll be under pretrial supervision of probation card at 117 East Main Street. Report them immediately upon your release. You know what that is, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Right. Then you'll be required to report to them 1 week, 4 weeks, and after that is they determine and undergo random drug testing in order, provide phone numbers for home self-employer. Recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse, mental health issues, and if treatments indicated, you'll enroll in and follow that under pendency of this action. You'll be under house arrest at your residence at 234 Blunt Street, Hillsborough, and you have to be there at all times unless you're working. Going to and from work, to and from medical appointments, to and from any court proceedings. In this or any other case, also you can go to meetings with your attorney or probation officer. In this or any other case, can attend any kind of school, job training, education program of any sort, church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply, then the court would revoke that bond and have you dealt with further order. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Now, if you do not make bond, then we'll have your hearing, bond review hearing tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peterson.
Are you done with Peterson?
Yes.
All right, this is case number 22, CR 65, State of Ohio versus Douglas Peterson. Peterson, you were indicted by the grand jury on Tuesday, along with Joshua Rowland and Corey Hatfield. It looks like you were indicted in all 8 counts. It looks like there's 4 counts of aggravated trafficking and methamphetamine, 4 counts of aggravated possession. No, actually, I'll take it back. Count 5 is actually aggravated trafficking and fentanyl-related compound. All right, and so the first count alleges that on or about April 8th, 2021, you and Mr. Rowland only sold around for settlement methamphetamine. In violation of section 2925.03 A1 Enterprise Code. Count 2 alleges that on or about that same date you possessed it. Count 3 alleges that you, on or about April 22, 2021, you and Mr. Rowland again sold off for selling methamphetamine. And this time it was an amount equal to or exceeding the bulk, less than 5 times the bulk. Count 4 alleges that on or about April 22nd of last year, you also, on the same date, obtained, possessed that. Count 5 alleges on or about April 27, 2021, you and Corey Hatfield only sold off for sale fentanyl-related compound. Count 6 alleges on or about April 27, the same date, you and he only obtained, possessed, or used fentanyl, a fentanyl-related compound. Count 7 alleges on or about April 27, 2021, you and Mr. Hatfield normally sold office methamphetamine amount equal to exceeding bulk less than 5 times bulk. And count A alleges that on about that same date, 2 of you possessed them. Now, it looks like you have counts 3, 4, and 7 are third, and 8 are third-degree felonies. And those carry possible prison term of between 9 and 36 months, and a fine of up to $10,000, mandatory fine of $5,000. The counts 1 and 5 are fourth-degree felonies, which carry a possible prison term of between 6 and 18 months, and a fine of $5,000. And then the other count are fifth-degree felonies, which if convicted carry a possible prison term of between 6 and 12 months, and a fine of $2,500. All of them carry a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney in this matter. If you can't afford to hire one, a corporate appointment for you. You've not been in court on this case before, have you?
No, sir.
All right, court-appointed attorney Captain Hafner of Hillsborough, Ohio, represents you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Since your bail
Would there be any way,
pardon me?
would there be any way I could still work my job?
I don't know what you just said. I can't understand you. What you say?
Is there any way I can still go to work to my job?
Oh, okay. Well, we're wait a minute. We'll get that done there. Okay. Let me take a look here to see what the situation is. You didn't list your employment on your, where are you working?
I work for Don and Kevin Bennington, out 247 Bennington Tree Service.
Okay, why didn't you list it on your form?
I thought that was just for my attorney, and if I,
Yeah, it is, but it lists you to ask you if you're employed and what your monthly income is. What's the name of your employer?
Donald Bennington,
Donald
Kevin
Bennington?
Bennington,
Okay.
yes.
How much are you making a month?
A month? Well, I get like $85 a day, so if I work 5 days, I get like 400 a week.
All right.
So
about 1,600 a month. All right. All right. Well, you are still entitled to appoint counsel then. All right. Now, let's take a look here at this other information. You've never been convicted of a felony previously?
No. 10 years ago. And it was a DUI back in
That's not a felony,
1996.
was it? Oh, was it a felony DUI?
Back in 1996, out of Adams County.
Oh, okay. We don't have that here. It shows a DUI that you did. Oh, okay. Okay, that was a felony because it says you did 60 days. Yeah, okay. How long have you been working in Bennington's?
Probably a month maybe.
How
Month
long?
and a half. A month and a half.
All right, where'd you work before that?
I just odd jobs, mowing and weed eating and cutting firewood myself and selling firewood myself. The last week he's been in Florida, so I haven't worked. He just got back Monday night.
All right. We'll set a bail review hearing for you on Monday, March the 7th at 2 p.m. Your first pretrial will be March 16th at 1 p.m. That'll be a Zoom hearing. Final pretrial will be April 13th at 1 p.m. Trial date will be set for April the 28th at, actually I've set that for May the 9th. May the 9th at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in the amount of $10,000 plus your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. If you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony and convicted. Sentenced on that regardless of what happens in this case. You're required to pay a deposit for certain statutory required fees of $171. Main bond, you'll be under pretrial supervision of probation department on 117 East Main Street. Report to them immediately upon your release. Then once a week, 4 weeks, and after that is a determined under drug test in the order. Provide notice that you own self-employer, have no contact with co-defendants in your case. Recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse and mental health issues. Make treatments indicated, you enroll in and follow that for attendance to this action. You have a house arrest for residence at 360 Johnson Street, meaning you have to be there at all times. Unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings, in this or any other case. You can also attend any kind of job training, schooling, education programming, church services. Other than that, you have to be there all the time. Fail to comply, then the court could revoke that bond and have you held to a full court. All right, do you have any questions, Mr. Peterson?
Just what do I do now?
Pardon me?
Oh, yeah, Hunter was asking. He's gonna tell me what's going on now.
Well, it's $10,000 plus an OR and $171 deposit, so that's what your bond is, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Thank you. I'm done with everything.
You tell that's no, also there. You explain these guys, we're back off, like all the sentences.
All right, are you Joshua Rowland?
Yes, sir.
All right, case number 22CR66, Dale Havers, Joshua Rowland. Rowland, you were indicted by the grand jury on Tuesday along with Mr. Peterson and Mr. Hatfield. You were indicted in counts 1 through 4, 2 counts of aggravated trafficking methamphetamine, 1 of aggravated possession, 2 of aggravated possession. The first 2 counts alleged to have occurred on about April 8, 2021 in this county. Alleged to be Mr. Peterson sold or offered to sell methamphetamine, a controlled substance, and that you had a previously 2 or more previous felony convictions for illegal assembly. And then count 2 alleged on about that same date you possessed that amount, or possessed that. And count 3 alleged on about April 22nd, last year, you, Mr. Peterson, only sold raw shell methamphetamine over bulk, less than 5 times bulk, and again, alleged you have 2 prior felony convictions. Count 1 is a 4th-degree felony, carries a possible prison term between 6 and 18 months and a fine of $5,000. Count 2 is a 5th-degree felony, carries a possible prison term between 6 and 12 months and a fine of $2,500. Count 3 and 4 are 3rd-degree felonies, carry a possible prison term between 9 and 36 months, fine of $10,000. All of them carry possible license suspensions of 6 months and 5 years. That you are entitled to have an attorney in this matter, and if you cannot afford to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And I see you have filled out a financial disclosure form. Is everything on this form correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. When was the last time you were employed?
December last year.
All right. Court appoints Attorney Dennis Kirk to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. The other review hearing will be tomorrow morning at 8:30. It'll be a Zoom hearing. First pre-trial will be March the 16th at 1 o'clock. Final pre-trial will be April the 13th at 1 o'clock. First one will be by Zoom. The trial date will be May 9th at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in the amount of $15,000 plus your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. If you fail to appear, then you could be prosecuted for additional felony and convicted. Sentenced on that regardless acts in this case, you will also be required to pay a deposit prior to release of $171, certain statutorily required fees. You'll be under pretrial supervision of probation department, 117 East Main Street. You'll report to them immediately upon your release if you make bond. You'll be required to report to them once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine or random drug testing they may order. Provide phone numbers for home, cell, employer, have no contact with your codependents. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse, mental health issues, and treatments indicated to enroll in and follow that or offensive this action. Also be under house arrest at your residence. What is your residence?
636 North High Street.
632 North High?
636.
Is that North High Street?
Yes, sir, that's it.
Okay. All right, in Hillsborough. That means you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work. Medical appointments, court proceedings, in this or any other case. You may also attend appointments of your attorney probation officer in this or any other case. You go to any kind of educational programming and also church services, other than that, you have to be there at all times. And if you fail to comply, then the court could revoke that bond and have you held for further work. You have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, you're Alan Green.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Green, you were indicted by the grand jury on March 1st in a 6-count indictment. Looks like counts 1, 3, and 5 are aggravated trafficking methamphetamine. The first 2 are in vicinity to school. And then the the even number of counts are all aggravated possession of methamphetamine. Count 1 alleges on or about May 5th of last year in this county, you only sold or offered to sell methamphetamine amount overbought for less than 5 times involved in the vicinity to school zone. Count 2 alleges that on about that same date you possessed it. Count 3 alleges on about May 8, 2021, you know sold or offered to sell methamphetamine over bulk for less than 5 times involved in the vicinity to school zone. Count 4 alleges on about the same date you possessed it. And then count 5 alleges that on or about June the 3rd, year, we knowingly sold or offered to sell methamphetamine over bulk, less than 5 times bulk, and count 6 alleged to possess it on the same day. Count 1 is a second-degree felony which carries a possible prison term, not possible, mandatory prison term of between 2 and 8 years, set by the judge, with the possibility of an additional 50% being added on to that by the Department of Corrections, of whatever sentence the judge imposed. There's also a fine of $15,000. Aggravated possession or count 2, counts 1 and 2 are both second-degree felonies because minimum. Count 3, the rest of all other 4 counts are all third-degree felonies. Carry a possible prison term between 9 and 36 months, fine of $10,000. And there's also mandatory fines on all counts, I believe, or on the traffic counts, I should say. And there's also a possible license suspension on each count of 6 months to 5 years. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney to represent you. If you can't afford to hire one, corporal appointment for you. I see you did fill out your financial disclosure form. Is everything on this form correct? When was the last time you were employed, Mr. Green?
Here,
You've not been in court in this case before today? All right, court will appoint Attorney Jacob Wagner of Hillsborough, Ohio, to represent you.
Your Honor, prosecutor's note. Clear out on the end.
That's the one below.
I'm sorry. Okay, sorry.
And in the absence of counsel, will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. So they'll review hearing for you tomorrow morning at 8:30. Your first pretrial will be March the 17th at 1 p.m. We've got a pretty full day, the 16th. That'll be by Zoom. We'll have the final pretrial April the 13th, 1 p.m. Jury trial will be set for April 28th at 8 a.m. Do you have any previous felony conviction, Mr. Green?
yes, sir.
All right. Court will set your bond in the amount of $25,000 plus your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. And if you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony and convicted, sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case. You'll also be under pretrial supervision. You'll also be required to pay a service fee of $171 to ensure the statutory required fees prior to your release. If you make the bond, you'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department at 117 East Main Street. Report to them immediately on their release. You have to report to them once a week or 4 weeks after that as they determine that the random drug test in their order, provide phone number for home self-employer, and if recommended by probation, be evaluated for substance abuse, mental health issues, many treatments indicated, role in, and follow that for independence of this action. Will also be under house arrest at your residence. What is your street address?
We're not the ISF.
I couldn't understand that.
Golden one, go to LA.
Well, you'll be under house arrest at your residence, which means you have to be there at all times if you make one. And unless you're going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings, this is any other case, or attend any kind of educational programming, you can attend meetings with your attorney or probation officer, this or any other case. You can also attend church services, and then that you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply, then the court will revoke that bond and have you held until further court. All right, you have any questions? Thank you. Oh, yeah. All right, are you Amber Robinson?
Yes, I am.
All right, Ms. Robinson, you were indicted by the grand jury on Monday, or on Tuesday, I should say, for 2 counts of permitting drug abuse. The first count alleges that on or about June 23 of 2021, and being the owner or occupant or lessee of 7109 Wagon Wheel Trail, only permitted it to be used for commission of felony drug abuse offense and trafficking methamphetamine by Jacob Wright. Count 2 alleges that the same offense occurred on June 24th of 2021. Both of those are 5th-degree felonies, which, if convicted, carry a possible prison term of between 6 and 12 months and a fine of $2,500. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney to represent you in this matter. If you cannot afford to hire one, then the court will appoint one for you. I think you have to fill out a financial disclosure report.
Yes.
I'm looking here. Yeah, there it is. Is everything on this correct?
Yes.
You're getting SSI as your income, $1,300 a month?
Correct. Yes.
All right, then, court finds that you are entitled to appoint counsel. Is this the first time you've been in court on this case?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court will appoint Attorney Sarah Barber to represent you, and in the absence of counsel, will enter a non-guilty plea on your behalf. You ever been convicted of a felony?
No, sir, I haven't.
All right. Court will release you on your own recognizance only, which is your promise to appear. If you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced on that regardless of what happens in this case. You'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department at 117 East Main Street. If you're to report to them immediately after your release, you know where that's located?
Yes, sir. The probation department or the parole department?
The probation department, not parole.
Okay, yes, yeah, okay, I have probation.
Driveway station.
Yes,
Report
yes.
to them once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing, and may order, provide phone numbers for home cell employer. Recommended by, have no contact with co-defendant Jacob Wright. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse and mental health issues, and when treatment's indicated, you roll in and follow that in dependency of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at the residence at 7109 Wagon Wheel Road, or Trail.
Okay.
Hillsborough. That means you have to be there at all times, unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings, and this or any other case. Appointment with an attorney, or probation officer, this or any other case, school, any kind of educational program, church services, and you live alone.
Yes, sir, I do.
You may also attend to business appointments like or needs such as grocery shopping, banking.
Okay.
Other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply, the court could revoke that bond and have you held to a further order of court. Your first pre-trial will be set for April the 13th, 1 o'clock. Your final pre-trial, oh no, wait a minute, it can't be that day, it will be April the 21st, sorry. April, no, let's make it April the 7th. April the 7th at 1 o'clock. Final pre-trial, April the 21st at 1 o'clock. No, I'm sorry, since she's gonna be on bond, that'll be set at 2 p.m. Both of those. So April 7th at 2 p.m., April 21st at 2 p.m. Trial date of May 12 at 8 a.m. All right, we will notify your attorney of her appointment. You can get her phone number there at the jail and give her a call, and make sure you report to probation as soon as you process that. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Judge, you had an 11 o'clock phone conference. Was that still on?
Okay. You want to go tell Marcia that, well, she knows I'm in here.
Yeah, I think she's listening to this. Didn't know if you wanted to break and go to that or. Okay, got two, this one and one more. On the record, Elliot.
All right, you're Seth Elliott.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Elliott, you were indicted by the grand jury, case number 22 CR 71 on March 1st, along with Justin Osborne, and you were charged with counts 5. Okay, actually, you're charged with counts 1 through 10. All right. Aggravated trafficking methamphetamine in counts 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Actually, 9 is aggravated. I'm sorry, let me back up and start over. Count 1, aggravated trafficking in methamphetamine. Count 2 is aggravated possession. Count 3 is aggravated trafficking in fentanyl-related compound. Count 4 is aggravated possession. Count 5 and count 7 are both aggravated trafficking in meth. Count 6 and 8 are both aggravated possession of methamphetamine. Count 9 is aggravated trafficking in fentanyl-related compound. Count 10 is aggravated possession. And in the trafficking counts, it's alleged that you offered to sell or sold methamphetamine in counts 1 and 7, 1 and 5 and 7. And then on the 3 and 9, it's fentanyl. So all these offenses alleged occurred in 2021 in this county. Looks like you have 4 third-degree felonies, which carry a possible prison term between 9 and 36 months, and a fine of $10,000. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 degree felonies. Those are punishable by 6 to 18 months, a fine of $5,000. And the other 3 are 5th degree felonies, carry possible prison term between 6 and 12 months, a fine of $2,500. All carry possible license suspension 6 months to 5 years. Entitled to counsel, and so you have filled out your form, and I believe you're represented by Mr. Armentrout on other cases. No, not Mr. Armentrout. Yeah, Mr. Armentrout, your attorney.
Yes, sir.
Pardon me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so I'll go ahead and appoint Mr. Armentrout to represent you, and then not going to fill in your behalf. Bail review hearing will be tomorrow morning at 8:30. First pretrial will be April 13th at 1 o'clock. On pretrial will be April the 20th, 1 o'clock. Trial will be May the 9th at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in the amount of $25,000 plus your own recognizance. You should promise to appear, if you fail to appear, you can be prosecuted for additional felony. You will required to pay a deposit of $171 prior to release. Certain statutory required fees to be made bond will be at the pretrial supervision probation department on 17 Main Street. Required to report to them once a week for 4 weeks after that as they determine if or after drug testing in order. Like others from one self-employer, have no contact with the defendant. Osborne. I recommend by probation to evaluate for substitution mental health issues and if any treatment indicated for parole and involved after intensity of this action, we make bonds to the house arrest and 600 lowest lane and Hillsborough. That means you have to be there all the time, unless you're working with the medical form of court proceedings in any other case. We can also give appointment with attorney probation officer in this or any other case, attending kinds of classes, education programming, or church services. Other than that, you have to be there all the time. If you have a client, then would and bond or vote be held for further order. Do you have any questions, Mr. Elliott?
Yes, sir.
Are you Justin Osborne?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Osborne, you are charged in case number 22 CR 72 with, along with Mr. Elliott, in 2 counts. Counts 1 and 3. Count 1 led you on or about July 30th, sold rock of last year, sold rock for methamphetamine, overall plus 5 times ball. Count 2 alleged you did the same thing, I'm sorry, that you possessed it on the same day. Count 3 alleges on or about July 30 this year, or last year, you and he offered to sell or sold fentanyl. And then count 4 alleges you possessed it. Those are counts 1 and 2 are third-degree felonies. Carry possible prison term between 9 and 36 months, fine $10,000. Count 4 is a fourth-degree felony, possible prison term between 6 and 18 months, fine $5,000. Count 4 is fifth-degree felony, carries possible prison term between 6 and 12 months, fine $25,000. Now you are entitled to have an attorney, and not for the hire one, corporal appointment for you. Will be had filled out, and the financial disclosure forms, everything on that form, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, court then finds that you're on the point of counsel, and let's see, Mr. Armentrout is your attorney? No, I'm sorry. Mr. Kirk represented you previously, so I'll appoint Mr. Kirk to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. We'll set your bond review for tomorrow morning at 8:30. I enter not guilty plea in the absence of counsel. First pretrial will be April the 13th at 1 p.m. Final pretrial will be April the 20th at 1 p.m. Trial day will be May the 9th at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in the amount of $10,000, plus your under cognizance, which is your promise to appear. Fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for additional felony. Also, be required to post a deposit of $171 for certain statutory required fees. The main bond will be under pretrial supervision probation department at 117 East Main Street. Court there immediately after your release. We require to court then once a week, 4 weeks after that as they determine. Go random drug testing in the order, provide phone numbers for home self-employer. Have no contact with your co-defendant, Mr. Elliott. Recommended by probation to evaluate for substance abuse and mental health issues and treatment indicated to roll and fall under offense of this action. And you'll also be under house arrest as residence at 9001 Airport Road, apartment 20 is that? Apartment 20, Georgetown.
Yes, sir.
Be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings, and this or any other case. May also attend appointments with attorney probation officer, this or any other case, any kind of schooling, job training, education programming, and church. Other than that, you have to be there all the time. All right, do you have any questions, Mr. Osborne?
No, sir.
All right, we'll notify your attorney and we'll have your bond review at 8:30 in the morning. Thank you. What else I got going on? What's gonna be good?